Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is FEDEX coming with you with another toy review video. Now, this week's video continues on with the Build-A-Figure series Macadam from Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. And this week's figures are going to be Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, as you can see. Now, in the previous review that showcased this line here, I showcased Megatron as well as Shockwave. I was pretty impressed with their articulation, their transformation. Basically, I was pretty impressed with this wave, mostly because of that. I have not seen the series. I've only seen clips and pieces of it. So I'm pretty sure some people are wondering, what's the deal with Macadam? Well, from what I've gathered, Macadam is basically the center hub of everything on Cybertron, where you go in to sit back, relax, and everything. And even in the midst of the Cybertronian war, they still go to Macadam. Now, the owner, the big bot that you see here, is Macadam. Now, he's, from what I've gathered, he's an easygoing guy. He just has one simple rule: you go into your club, and to loosely quote Static, one of my favorite characters, if you don't start none, there won't be none. So if you don't start any shit in his club, he's not gonna go ahead and pound you to shit. He's got this big ass hammer over here. So when you have the leader of the Decepticons acquiescing to this dude's rule in his bar, yeah, you know that this is a bad mofo. So now, as you can tell, the boxes are pretty much the same. Big old open window showcasing the figure, the accessories, and of course the Build-A-Figure piece. Let's see here. Of course, the illustrations as well as the image of Macadam once he's complete. And lastly, the promotional shots in the back of there. So I'm really looking forward to getting these puppies cracked open. So let's go ahead, open them up, and let's go ahead and show them off. Okay, folks, there they are out of the packaging, and I have to say I'm liking what I've seen so far. Now, though, I do have a gripe. I think Optimus personally should have been a little bit bigger in terms of its height. So it's not really at scale, and that's the one thing that I'm going to more than likely see that there is going to be an issue with. Bumblebee is probably almost the same height as Optimus, which yeah, but you know what, it is what it is. Now, I do see though that with Optimus there is an issue with, and I'll bring him in the back here, an issue with the open leg syndrome here, big old gaps here. But again, more than likely that's due to the transformation process. Because from what I'm looking at so far, I see that this piece here, the heel spur, has to go up in here. So I'm seeing it, but so far, I am seeing that it's looking pretty nice. Very solid. There are some open areas which basically will be mostly for transformation process, so that is good for Optimus. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show them off just a little bit more, because I'm seeing a lot of good paint applications, some really good molded detail. I mean, oh, let me see if I can focus. There we go. I mean, really nice. You know, some good molded details on there, on his crotch piece. I have to, without me actually looking back on the actual series as a reference, honestly, this should have been more of a gray with the yellow aspects, because you can tell he's got, you know, some bumps that they could have painted yellow and whatnot, and this could have been gray. But they try to keep it, you know, as Optimus, you know, as you can get. They have him with the face mask instead of that, instead of the flat face. Which, let's see if I can try and focus it. There we go. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I can see that there's blue in his eyes, and I have to say the face is all silver and everything. That's good, because that breaks up the monotony of the blue that makes up the head on here. Really good molded detail. You can tell that there's that triangle that's on there. The typographed Autobot symbol. You know, whoa. Come on, blast it. There we go. Hate it when you shift and there we go. Alright, so you can tell that he's got really unique looking back on here. But again, that's the inside, so I'm go ahead and deal with that later. You know, so that is it for Optimus. Put him off to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and focus. Thank you. Focus next on Bumblebee, and just, you know, looking at him right now, he looks like a really good solid figure. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him off to the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a type of 360. Come on, blast you. There we go. Alright, so you can tell he's got really good solid legs on here. You can tell on the lower inside where the feet are at, there is like that open gap, but again, that's probably due to the transformation process. He's got, you know, his front window. It looks like there's some really interesting molded detail on the inside of his on his door. I kind of wish that they had gone ahead and painted the windows like they did for the outside. I wish they did that for the inside. See, you can tell right there and right there. You know what? I'm wondering if Toy Hex will do something like that. You know, do the cell shading windows inside and out. That would be interesting. Now, as we continue on, you can see some really good detailing for the parts of the hood, top of the roof here. It shows the Autobot symbol. Really good facial sculpt. Oh, come on, there we go. You know, he's really cool looking and everything. I mean, he's coming out a lot more solid than, unfortunately, than Optimus. You know, you know, it's pretty cool on this. So let's see here. So let me go ahead and make some adjustments, and we're going to go ahead and show off the articulation of each figure individually. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and focus on Optimus, but before we get started on the usual stuff, the articulation and transformation, we're going to show off the accessories. Now, the first thing we're going to show off is the left arm for Macadam, and you can tell he's got some good molded details, some nice paint applications. Really interesting little arm here. And it looks like, yes, so he does have some, oops, let's focus on that a bit. There we go. He does have a type of wrist swivel. So he is going to have some sort of articulation. And looks like he's going to have like a type of elbow bend and whatnot, because it's going to be on a ball joint. Woo! Alright, so let's move this arm out of the way. The next thing we're going to focus on is his blaster, and it's very, very reminiscent of G1, with one exception that I'm looking at and that you all are probably seeing. This basically suffers from hollow syndrome. It's very open all along the sides here. I mean, I can understand molded detail, but yeah, no, this is just plain hollowness right off the bat. They could have gone ahead and done the molded detail, but making this just a solid piece. So yeah, it just lost points. But one thing that it does have is a port, and you can use this cool blast effect on that. And as a matter of fact, you can go ahead and put his blaster. There we go. Oi! Ouch! Blast it. Trying to go ahead and get this in here without breaking it. Man, this. Okay, that's probably why. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'll put this and wow. So one thing that I am discovering, Jesus, this thing doesn't really have it cannot support the weight of this blast effect here because it's a solid piece, but you know, it has some good some good posability. Just can't hold this. Let's see if we can do it now. Oh yeah, now without it, you know, hey, he can hold up his rifle, but with this thing, and I don't know if anyone's had this or not, but man, this is a solid piece of plastic, and I think it's just, and one thing I just discovered, it can separate into two smaller pieces. So let's see. Well, it hold. Nope, it won't hold. I mean, it'll hold up to a certain degree, but as you can tell just by looking at it, yeah, it's just there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take off the accessories. Let go. Now we're gonna go ahead and concentrate on articulation. So I'm gonna get him just a little closer. Alright, so his head is on a ball joint and he can look up. He can't really look down. His head can go 360. He can look left, right, all the way around. So that's pretty cool. His arms can go 360. They're on a mushroom I mean, not mushroom. They're on a ball joint here, and of course his arms can go back if you want to do like that big old, big old, super Optimus punch. But so he does have a bicep swivel. His arms can bend at 90 degrees. He is, as I discovered, his hands are on a mushroom peg. I mean, not mushroom, on a ball joint. So you do have that motion to where it can bend in. It can bend in. It can rotate, but it can bend in because of transformation. So that's going to be something that we're going to look into in a moment. And I'll just keep it like that for now since I have it there. He does have waist rotation, which is pretty cool. He can, he does have a wide stance, which is where the whole ankle tilt is all about. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I don't have a left hand. Yeah. Anyway, and he can only kick out so far. He does have a thigh rotation. He can bend his leg at a little bit over 90 degrees. He can kick back so far, but that, this little thing back here, come on, focus. This semi butt flap it blocks the way, and of course he's got some extreme ankle tiltage. So that's about it. Now, one thing I am noticing as I'm feeling it, I have to say, man, now you want to go ahead and come on. Blast it. Anyway, I was about to say, there we go. In handling this so far, his legs, I have to say, they don't. I have to say he does feel kind of cheap. For some reason, I don't know if it's just with my copy, or this is how he feels among the whole line in this particular case, but he does feel really cheap in terms of the plastic quality. Not to mention he's not very solid. He's loose in a lot of areas, as you can tell, very, very loose. Especially in his arms and as well. So I don't know. He's cool looking. They did some really cool advancements with his design, with the way he transforms and everything. But I don't know. I mean, I was having some really, really good high hopes with this one, but for some reason, this figure, like I said, I don't know if it's just my copy. If you have this figure and it comes out, solid and strong, great. But if you're having the same issues, let me know. Leave a comment. That way, at least I know it's not just mine. One other thing that I did forget is that, like in the illustration, he does have the Matrix. Now, unlike the Earthrise Optimus, This matrix does not come out. At least I don't think so. Nope, it doesn't come out. It's painted on there, which is cool, and that's the whole reason for that mega matrix blast, because you can put in that blast on there, and if you position the hands just right, like he just opened it up, he can. Oops, excuse me, I burped. You know, you can see that he's got that mega matrix blast. So he oh, I'm sorry, matrix mega shot. I apologize. So he's got that matrix mega shot, you know, and it's not bad looking, you know. I think that's the reason for this to begin with, this this blast effect. Now, I'm pretty sure that the blast effects from something else might fit on there. Let's find out. Hang on. Well, folks, it did not work out. I was hoping that these blast effects from one of my target masters will fit on here, and I mean, it looks like they were made for them, but it just, yeah, as you can tell, it just does not want to stay on. So yeah, using your you know, the blast effects from your target masters and such is not going to work out after all. Oh well. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I was really hoping that it would, you know, kind of like extends the playability on that, but you know, do you know what? It is all good. Like I said, you know, this is a good looking figure. I just, you know, as I started handling it, I discovered some issues with it, you know, and I mean, it's not much I can do other than just show you, you know, hey, and at least tell you what, you know, as you can tell, I'm handling the figure. I'm not doing anything wrong in terms of the way it's handled. It just, in my personal opinion, the plastic quality for Optimus, his construction, does feel cheap, which is very sad in this case. I'm very disappointed. So, but let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and take off his weapons. Now we're going to go ahead and move the hands inside. So this is one of the things that I started liking, which is why I gave it such a gushing review with Megatron and Shockwave, is that their hands are able to go ahead and go within the forearm. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, let's see here, trying to make sure I am not forgetting anything. Oh, okay, so we're going to go ahead, and these little pieces here we're going to fold out like so. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I need to first twist his waist around. Now we're going to go ahead and flip these pieces out like so. Alrighty, there we go. Now, there is, I know I'm missing something. The head. How do we get the head down? Because it doesn't. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So it looks like there is a tab here that I think we're supposed to pull up. Oh, there we go. So we just got to push down on the head. So we're going to push this back up. So right here, come on, focus. Thank you. Focus, blast you. Come on, man. I'm gonna have to go ahead and try and set this blasted thing to manual, because this is, there we go. So we gotta push the head in, like so. And you got his head right in that cavity there. Now once that's done, this little piece back here in the back flips up. And it just snaps right in there. Now the next thing we're gonna have to do is push these arms out or down like so, and we're going to, oh, first things first, sorry. So we're going to flip this little panel down like that, and we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Boom. Alrighty. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and move these feet in. And there we go. It's supposed to slide into that slot. Now you have to go ahead and angle them flat. And there we go. Now, with the legs, there's these posts here. They go into these. Let's see if you can see them. There we go. There's a slot right there on both sides. You're just gonna go ahead and just snap them in there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pull these. There's something else. Oh, that's right, I forgot. This cod piece over here, I think. This cod piece. Come on, cod piece. I think you're supposed to flip up, but why is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it goes up like so. There we go. And for those that didn't see it, is apparently it snaps in here, right in the taint. You gotta go ahead and just pull that up, boom, like that, so it goes flush. Now you just gotta go ahead and pull all this together, and now we just gotta do the bumper where these little these square posts here go into these ports right here, and we're going to do the same thing here. And there we go. Now, oh, one thing that I didn't show you. There is a type of very, very small port here that goes into this hollow area here. So you gotta make sure those are slid on there properly. And there he is. Ta-da! Alrighty. As you can tell, he's looking outstanding. It's not a bad looking, truck mode, as a matter of fact. And he does roll. He's put him at his side. He's got a very interesting side mode. Not bad looking. I'm wondering if they're going to, and yeah, he's got that little deal back here. Okay. Just gonna see if I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. Like I said, you know, as my good buddy, I should say, as my good friend Buddy is so fond of saying, it is a great accomplishment where you can transform a transformer without actually having to look at the instructions. And yeah. Oh, okay. So there is a little port right here, and this goes for the blast effect, so you can have him, you know, like he's blasting off, you know, as Go is so fond of saying, bloosh. I need to come up with my own catchphrases instead of borrowing or leeching off of everyone else's. Oh man, but all in all, it's pretty cool. I like it, but he does look a little small, and when I go ahead and you know, put them side by side with Bumblebee, I'm gonna see that it's not gonna be up to scale. So tell you what, let me go ahead and get him out of the way, and we'll bring in Bumblebee. Alrighty, so here we have next is Bumblebee, and you know, he's not a bad looking figure. From when I first handled him, he seems like really solid, a very, like I said, a very solid figure. So you know, I have to say, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I was very, very disappointed with Optimus on so many levels. One of them was, you know, the height scale. Optimus should have been a little bit bigger, even for this particular wave, should have been a little bit bigger. In addition, you know, the way he feels, you know, plastic-wise, I think that Hasbro may have gone ahead and try to cut corners with his construction and such. Not a good idea, Hasbro. It really was not. But again, what do I know? I'm just a consumer. Anyway, moving on. So let's go ahead and check out the accessories here. Now, here we have is the focus. Thank you. Brighten that up just a bit. There we go. Here we have is the lower waist and crotch piece for Macadam, or Macadam, however it's pronounced. You can tell that the top portion as well as the legs are going to be connected via ball joints here. And in addition, he's got two other accessories. One of them is his battle blade, which does have a blast effect that connects directly to that, which is pretty cool looking. I like it. The next thing is a little blaster, which is pretty cool. You know what? I'm wondering, will this blast effect fit on that? Yay! It does! Alright. See? Okay. So, we're probably going to go ahead and do some imagery on that. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and fit these things on here. Now this will fit on through that little peg on here into his hand. Budo. And ta-da. So, yay. And just for good measure, let's go ahead and put on the blast effect. Yay. Oh, that is nice. Oh man, I definitely get some pictures of that. That is awesome. I like it. The one thing that I am having a little bit of a gripe about, and I wouldn't be me if I didn't have, something to bitch about. But the thing about it is, it's not without reason. In this particular case, these shoulder pads here that make up, whoops, there goes the little blast effect. That's okay. They get in the way. I think it's just due to the fact that, they're trying to go ahead and make everything, on there. But I know that it makes up for the car, but this back piece with the wings, it does get in the way in terms of its articulation, at least from what I'm seeing so far. So let's go ahead and, sorry. Oh, goodness. Okay, one thing, folks. Oh, there we go. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and showcase these weapons off while I have the opportunity. And focus, thank you. And you can tell there's a lot of molded detail. Now, as I was about to say a little while ago, please be careful when you are putting in the weapons or even taking them off. The last thing you want to do is stress the plastic on here, because like all plastic or anything that's made of plastic, if you put too much pressure, it will leave a stress mark, or if you put too much pressure, it will break. So just to let you know. But moving on ahead, we're checking out the details on these weapons, and again, you got that little hollow action going on, but I think for once this hollow action does work out. It kind of reminds me of the stinger that animated Bumblebee had. So that's where I'm seeing this from. And of course, having this little blast effect here for it is even more awesome. So yeah. Now I kind of wish instead of this dark blue, they could have given him a different color. So maybe a third party that makes these blast effects, or that will make blast effects, will reproduce this one but with a different color, perhaps maybe a yellow, who knows. But yeah, I mean, there's some really good molded detail on that. Come on, focus, blast it. There you go. And I'm gonna try and there we go, line that up a bit. And yeah, whoops, there we go. And it's, there you go. As you can tell from the light hitting that, it's really cool. I like it. So we're gonna move that off to the side, and the final weapon, the only other weapon, is this hand blaster, which also suffers from open plastic syndrome. I mean, yeah, the way I see it, they could have, I mean, yeah, what Hasbro should have done was just made this a solid piece, put the molded detail on there like they did with the figure. This hollowness is just pure fucking laziness. It didn't work for some of the other lines, especially like with like Power of the Primes with certain of the leader class figures and shit. It was, I don't know why they insist on doing it. They should just stop. You know, like I normally post on Facebook, when I see videos or postings of people doing stupid shit, stop it. So yeah, so toss that off to the side because that was a total disappointment in that weapon. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on. And like I said, Bumblebee seems to be a very solid figure here. So far, I don't have any complaints. And let's focus. Thank you. Brighten up there we go. And you can tell he's got a very nicely sculpted face. That silver really brings out the eyes. He's got that tempographed Autobot logo right there. He's got the little windshield. He's got the molded details for his car mode. A little black pinstriping right here along the sides. Let's see. He's got the colored windows along that striping on the side. On the back, he's got the windshield here as well. One thing I really wish Hasbro had taken the time to do was paint the inside to match the outside of the window there. That would have been even more awesome. He does have some hollowness here, but I think that's mostly due to transformation. He's got some nice detailed on the back of his legs. This whole back calf here, you know, his shins and everything. I like that they added some paint details here and on the top. Without taking a closer look at the actual character design, or at least the character in the show, I can't do a really good comparison. You know, so I have to say this is a really good feat of engineering, mostly because of the way it will transform. And I say it will mostly because I haven't transformed this yet. But you know, like with the Transformer animated figures, I mean, you're talking about a very, very extremely cartoony design, and transforming them into an extremely cartoony design of their vehicle modes. So for it to come out as well as it did, that was always a fucking awesome thing. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and check out the articulation now. From the looks of it, his head does appear, yeah, it's on a mushroom peg. I can't look up, but it can turn left, right. It can barely go 360. That's because this back piece was so damn close to it. Now his arms can do a 360, but you gotta move the wings back and tilt this shoulder piece, so you got that 360 going there. He does have a elbow swing on here, but that's mostly because his elbow is on a ball joint and it can bend at 90 degrees. His hand is on, I want to say, yeah, it's on a mushroom peg. It's on a mushroom peg here, so he does have wrist rotation. He does have a waist swivel, and it's extremely tight. I like that. And he's, like I said, he's a very solid figure. So this is why I'm kind of disappointed with Optimus, because this was a hell of a lot more solid than Optimus. This figure does not feel cheap at all. I don't know why they decided to go ahead and give Optimus such a shitty plastic job. I really don't understand it. So he can kick up, he can kick back. Oh wow, really back at 90 degrees basically. He does have somewhat of a rotation away, but that's just due to the ball joint, and it's only hidden so much or so. Oh, no, I stand corrected. He does have a mushroom joint right here, which does give him thigh rotation. Yes. And his knee can, or he can bend his leg at 90 degrees, and he does have the ankle tilt, which gives him those extremely wide stances right there. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty, it's not bad looking. I like the, that's pretty awesome. I have to say I like it. All right, so there he is with getting ready for transformation. Now I'm gonna go at this pretty slow, mostly because I I've never had this before, and I'm going to be cheating just a little, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to be using the instructions. So at this point, what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn him around, and we're going to pull this back like so. And of course, we're going to go ahead and open up these flaps here that are folded in within him. Yay! Now, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and put Bumblebee's head inside this section here. Alright. And now we're going to move these arms up. Now they're on a little hanger here. So I'm going to pull these up like so. And ta-da. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try and bring him a little bit closer. So on each side of his waist here, where his head is at, there is a type of pig here which will pretty much slide against this little notch that is right there. I don't know if you're just able to see it, but I'm pointing right at it now. So one of the things we need to do is move this front section down on the arm here, on the forearm. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And once that's done, we're going to snap this arm into place like so. Now I'm going to do the same again with this side, and as you can tell, like that. Now that that is done, okay. Now that that is done, we're going to take this front section and sorry, gotta keep them in frame. So now we're going to go ahead and put this front section in. Now each, I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet, there's like little tabs on either side. They're going to go inside on each side of this hood that makes up the hood. So we're going to do that, and there we go. Makes it flushed. Now we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the hood down, and it kind of makes it flush like so. Alrighty. Now there's this little chest piece which is going to have to flip up from here, and there we go. Goes up right against. No fuss, no muss. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is we need to swivel the waist so that way it goes to the front, like so, or I should say it goes to the top. Alrighty. Sorry. Now okay, so now we're going to open up the legs here and here. We're going to flip the feet in like so, and we're going to slide the legs together. There is a tab right here, and there is a type of slot right there. So we just got to slide that in. Boom. Yay. We are accomplishing stuff. Now now we just need to go ahead and rotate this like so. We're going to close the legs and make sure they snap in like that. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and close the doors. Now there's a tab right there. There is a tab, don't know if you're able to see it, right there. So there are the appropriate slots. Like that. It's a tight fit, folks, so you may have to be mindful like that. And I believe that is it. So and it's not a bad looking vehicle. It's not I don't know if it rolls. It does roll. There are certain areas that I don't know they're in there flushed. Could be just the plastic tolerances, but yeah. Now, one thing that I'm seeing right here and here, they're not even. This one's a little bit more even on this side. It's just this one they kind of messed up on. Now, it's not a bad looking vehicle. Really wish they had done the rims. Really wish they did more paint applications on this. It looks like it's just, you know, the bare minimum, but it is what it is. I mean, there's no headlights, so something tells me I know that Toy Hacks may wind up doing some repo labels for these figures. If they do, I may look into investing in it. But right there, it's not too bad. As a matter of fact, let's see. Did I say that correctly? Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking in the instructions on this, and yeah, there is a slot to put this weapon on its side. Like that. So, yeah, not bad looking. It's a shame they didn't put one for this one here. They didn't put something for it to connect it on the other side, but oh well. So let's go ahead and do a bit of a size comparison between the two. Okay, so there's their there they are in their vehicle mode, and yeah, again, there's that. For some reason, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen this. Bumblebee over here pretty much kind of like outdoes Optimus. I mean, they both have cool vehicle modes. Optimus does have a lot of good paint applications, but I kind of have a feeling they're not scaling up big time. In robot mode, that was more than obvious. The way the figure was loose shows that they didn't give Optimus the right amount of attention that they did with Bumblebee. I know that the series is now called Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures, but come on, if you're gonna have a figure like Optimus Prime, give Optimus the love he deserves. And this was just ridiculous. I'm very disappointed with the Optimus figure. If it wasn't for the fact that it is part of the Build-A-Figure series that they have going on with this set, I probably would not even have picked up any of them. But again, I was pretty impressed with both Megatron and Shockwave. So, I figure I'll go ahead and give the rest of the set a try. So, we'll see how the rest goes. But I'm going to go ahead and put them back into robot mode, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts. Well, I have to say, for a set of characters that basically on a current series that basically I haven't watched, I have been very impressed with their transformation, their posability, their articulation. However, Hasbro did drop the ball in terms of their scale, especially when it comes down to this guy. Okay, his construction is less than satisfactory. Whatever materials they used, yeah, again, less than satisfactory. I like the blast gimmicks, but basically the blast gimmicks for Optimus is basically way too heavy. I think it was made mostly for the Matrix gimmicks, hence the name they gave it, which was the Matrix Mega Shot. Okay, and it's all right, but I think some people would have loved to have used that blast effect for his rifle. And also another thing concerning the weapons, that whole hollow motif that transferred over from Power of the Primes and whatnot, like I said before, stop it. If you're gonna have some molded detail, have it molded on a solid piece of plastic for these weapons. Anything less than that is inexcusable in this case. I doubt Hasbro is listening, but if the off chance they do stumble upon this video, take heart that I'm not the only one that is not pleased with it. Not to mention, you know, I assure you, these two figures are standing side by side, but it kind of looks like that. Well, I want to say it kind of looks like Optimus is standing, you know, further behind Bumblebee, like he's in the foreground. But if you look at their feet, look at how close they are. Yeah, scale is definitely something that was lost in this case. So I don't know what to say on that. I'm pleased with Bumblebee. He's a solid figure. You know, in terms of Optimus, he's a floppy mess. If I had to put a score on it, Optimus would definitely receive a 5 or less. That is how bad I think it was. Bumblebee would have probably an 8 or a 9. That's how good I think it was. The same thing with Shockwave and Megatron. They were solid. They're good figures. This is the only one that out of the set so far that I'm not pleased with. But I'm glad that I have them, especially for the Macadam, you know, Build-A-Figure. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the others fare up. This is a big departure from the regular series that's out right now with Earthrise, and well, I should say with Siege, and then with Earthrise. So I don't know. We'll see what happens from this point on. So that is my take on these figures. I'd like to go ahead and hear from you. So if you have any questions, concerns, any comments about this video or any others, leave them in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, because let's face it, it does a lot in this particular case. Also, if you'd like to contribute to the channel, I do have details on how you can join up with my Patreon, or even you know, send correspondence or contribute a figure to the channel. And I do have a PO box that will be listed in the description down below. So, you know, you have nothing else. Once again, let me introduce Optimus Prime and Bumblebee from Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. This is part of the Build-A-Figure set. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you again on the flip side. Peace.